Hi guys, today I wanted to go over helpful resources that I personally used at school, which really helped me improve my animation. So if you are an animator already, you've probably run into a few of these before, but just in case you haven't, I thought I'd just share what I used in case it's helpful for you. So first things first, I'm going to recommend the two most important books for animation, which is The Illusion of Life by Frank Thomas and Ollie Johnston, and the Animator Survival Kit. And if you haven't heard of these books before, definitely pick them up if you want to get better at animation. They are extremely pivotal. Both of them historically have shared about the process and the craft and the history of animation right from the get-go. So they've been kind of like a cornerstone in animation education since the beginning. So The Illusion of Life does contain a lot of animation principles and how to animate, but it's more from the lens of what Frank Thomas and Ollie Johnston learned as they were at Disney. So it's very interesting. It's a book that it's filled with so many interesting stories of how Walt Disney Animation Studios got started in the day, and it's filled with so many helpful tips. I found it personally helpful for acting. They go a lot into like character motivation, character thought, and then just how they honed in on the craft at Disney, because they went from Snow White all the way to 101 Dalmatians and stuff, and you can see a lot of improvement, and they talk about that in the book. So they also do have a lot of examples, which I personally used in school. I find it helpful to take those real life examples, read about why they did the spacing this way, why they did the posing this way, and just do a quick 2D pass, copying it frame for frame, just so I can practice and learn why they made the choices they did. I think there's a lot of value to that. And the second book, The Animator Survival Kit, is more of a how-to rather than talking about their personal experiences and what they learned and how they honed in on the craft, but it contains so much practical advice that I still use to this day. Like, I literally took a cycle from the walk cycle section in the book and used it in my game as inspiration for my main character animation. So it's one of those books that you reference all the time. I still use it even though I've been in the industry for a few years now, and it's so helpful. So definitely pick up those two books. And then a third recommendation I have is getting your favorite movie or video game The Art of book. So mine is Tangled. I absolutely love that movie, and Glenn Keane is my absolute favorite animator, and he's such an inspiration to me. So it was really helpful for me to see all the different drawings and the character development process, and it acted as such a fuel and inspiration for me to be like, yes, this is what I really want to do. And it was really cool to see that behind the scenes, and it was just fun to flip through and copy the drawings and things like that, so I could improve my posing. That's what I recommend for books. Now, in terms of online courses, there are a few ones that I used a lot. So I used Creature Art Teacher, which is from Aaron Blaze. He was a Disney animator back in the day. He worked on like Mulan, he directed Brother Bear, and he has a lot of 2D animation and drawing courses, which if you're working in 3D, you don't really need it, but I find it extremely valuable for creating more appealing poses in 3D, but also for planning, like doing quick 2D passes or thumbnails and stuff. I found it extremely helpful, and they're a very affordable price. So I would definitely check out his courses. You can do it on pencil and paper, very low tech. It's a nice, affordable way to practice. And then what I used at Anim School was actually Drawing Force from Mike Matese. He actually did some classes at Anim School, which I used those, but he also has a book and courses on here, which it teaches you how to approach posing and gesture drawing from an animator's perspective. So I found it very helpful to figure out where the energy's flowing in the body, where's the muscle mass, and how does it move, where is the pose, origin, energy coming from. He goes all into that, which really helped improve my posing for my 3D characters. Gesture drawing is also essential for that. Learning how to quickly capture the essence of a pose and know how to push it and what to emphasize and what to leave out is really important for posing out your character. So I would use this website to create a bunch of models that would come up, and you put them on a timer, and then it would just cycle through. So I would have my piece of paper out and quickly sketch out the poses using the principles from force drawing and really improve my gesture drawing from that. So And then the last thing I'll say is it's really important to study the professional work of whatever field you're trying to get into or trying to emulate. So for me, I originally wanted to get into film, and I'm currently in film right now. And so I studied so much film while in school. So I would watch the movies, and then I would watch them, but to try and understand why a pose was so appealing. Why did I connect with them so well? Things like that. And so I would watch it, but analyze it from an animator's perspective, and then I would pick up lots of things. Like, it's also great to study demo reels from professional animators. So if you look at your favorite film, look at the animators who worked on it, and then Google their demo reels, and you can frame through and learn a lot from their work. So honestly, for me, Zach Parrish, he's a great animator. There's a blink that he did in Moana that I still use to this day, this double blink, because I just thought the timing of it was so appealing, and I literally just used it in one of the movies I'm on now. But yeah, there's so much you can learn from just framing through professional work and watching the movies. And there's actually a YouTube channel here which I want to show you. It's called 3D Animation Internships, and what they do is they find behind the scenes or shot progressions of feature films, and you can frame through it on YouTube. So I have this one here. If you use the period and the comma on YouTube, you can literally frame through it and go back and forth. And so you can use this to study the works at an appropriate pace, and you can download it, go in Sync Sketch, do draw over, see what the key poses are, things like that. So I use this website a lot during school, and I think it was one of the reasons why I was actually able to get an internship at Pixar, because I was able to be always studying professional work. So yeah, these are the resources I used in school. I hope that they are useful for you as well. If you have any other resources that you've personally used and found helpful, definitely leave them in the comments below so that others can take a look and that we can all get better together. So that's all I have for you today, and as always, happy animating!